Night had fallen on Maple Street, a peaceful suburban haven. The air was cool and the sky was a deep, inky black, dotted with twinkling stars. The full moon hung low, casting an ethereal glow over the quiet neighborhood. The houses, bathed in the soft glow of moonlight, stood like silent sentinels, guarding the dreams of their sleeping inhabitants. The gentle light painted the rooftops and lawns in shades of silver and blue, creating a serene and almost magical atmosphere. Silence reigned supreme, broken only by the occasional chirping of crickets and the distant hum of a passing car. The stillness of the night was almost palpable, a stark contrast to the hustle and bustle of the day. Yet amidst this tranquility, something sinister lurked. Unseen in the shadows, a figure crept along the edges of manicured lawns, his movements deliberate and stealthy. His intentions were far from innocent, and his presence was a dark stain on the otherwise peaceful night. He had his eye on the Miller house, its windows dark, its occupants sound asleep. The house, like many others on the street, was a picture of suburban bliss, but tonight it was a target. With a practiced hand, he tested the doorknob, unlocked. The simplicity of the act belied the gravity of his intentions. He paused for a moment, listening for any signs of movement inside. A cruel smile spread across his face, a reflection of the dark thoughts that swirled in his mind. The unlocked door was an invitation, a sign that tonight, luck was on his side. He took a deep breath, savoring the thrill of the moment. The night was his ally, cloaking him in darkness and silence. As he stepped inside, the shadows seemed to close in around him, welcoming him into their fold. The peaceful suburb, unaware of the danger lurking within, continued to sleep soundly, oblivious to the unfolding drama. Inside, a presence stirred, not human but no less aware. Max, the Miller's Doberman pinscher, lifted his head from his paws, a low growl rumbling in his chest. His keen ears, far superior to any human's, had detected the slightest sound, the scrape of a shoe, the click of the gate latch, sounds that meant nothing to the sleeping family, but everything to him. His dark eyes, reflecting the faint moonlight, were alert, watchful. Something was definitely not right. The Doberman pinscher, a breed often misunderstood, feared even, for their imposing presence and reputation. With their sleek, muscular build and sharp, attentive eyes, they can appear intimidating to those who don't know them well. But there's so much more to these magnificent dogs than meets the eye. But beneath that powerful exterior beats the heart of a protector, loyal and true. These dogs are not just guardians, they are family members, companions, and friends. Their loyalty is unparalleled, and their love for their human families knows no bounds. Whether they're lying next to a child, cuddling with their owner, or playing joyfully in a backyard, Dobermans show a softer, loving side that often goes unnoticed. For over a century, these dogs have stood shoulder to shoulder with humans, their courage and intelligence unmatched. Historical images and vintage photographs capture moments of Dobermans with their human counterparts, showcasing a bond that has been forged over generations. These dogs have been by our side through thick and thin, their loyalty unwavering and their bravery commendable. From their origins in Germany as tax collectors' companions, to their service in the military and law enforcement, Dobermans have proven their worth time and again. In historical German settings, these dogs were initially bred by Carl Friedrich Louis Doberman, a tax collector who needed a loyal and protective companion. Over the years, their roles expanded and they became invaluable assets to military personnel and police officers around the world. Dobermans have proven time and again their unwavering dedication to their human pack. Through rigorous training exercises and police drills, these dogs demonstrate their intelligence, agility, and commitment. Trainers reward them for their hard work and dedication, knowing that a well-trained Doberman is a force to be reckoned with. Their ability to learn and adapt quickly makes them ideal for various roles, from search and rescue missions to protection duties. Max was a product of this lineage, his bloodline imbued with generations of protective instinct. From the moment he was born, it was clear that Max had inherited the best qualities of his ancestors. As a puppy, he stayed close to his mother, learning the ways of the world and developing the instincts that would one day make him a great protector. His breeder, who had dedicated years to maintaining the purity and strength of the Doberman lineage, knew that Max was destined for greatness. In a kennel filled with history and tradition, Max grew into a dog that embodied the very essence of the Doberman breed: loyal, intelligent, and fiercely protective. The intruder slipped through the doorway, his heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. He had planned this for weeks, studying the house, its occupants, and their routines. Tonight, he was sure, was the perfect night. The family was away, and the house was supposed to be empty. He had rehearsed every step in his mind, but now, standing in the doorway, the reality of the situation hit him like a cold wave. He had not expected the house to be so quiet, so empty. The silence was almost oppressive, pressing down on him as he moved further inside. Every creak of the floorboards seemed amplified in the stillness, making him wince with each step. He paused for a moment, straining his ears for any sound that might indicate he was not alone. But there was nothing, just the eerie quiet of an empty house. He took a step, then another, his eyes adjusting to the darkness. The layout of the house was familiar to him from his surveillance, but in the dark, everything seemed different, more menacing. Shadows loomed large, and every piece of furniture seemed like a potential hiding place for some unseen threat. He moved cautiously, his senses on high alert, every nerve in his body tingling with anticipation and fear. Suddenly, a guttural growl ripped through the silence, freezing him in his tracks. The sound was low and menacing, a clear warning that he was not alone. His heart skipped a beat, and he felt a cold sweat break out on his forehead. He had not accounted for this. In all his planning, he had not considered the possibility of a guard dog. He whirled around to face the source of the sound, his blood turning to ice. His eyes darted around the dark hallway, trying to pinpoint the location of the growl. The darkness seemed to close in around him, and for a moment he felt a wave of panic. He forced himself to take a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. He needed to think, to find a way out of this situation. Standing in the hallway, bathed in the faint light filtering in from the street lamp outside, was a sight that sent shivers down his spine. The dog was massive, its muscular body coiled with tension, ready to spring into action at any moment. The light from the street lamp cast eerie shadows on the walls, making the dog look even more menacing. A Doberman, its muscular body tense, teeth bared in a silent snarl, eyes glowing with an almost supernatural intensity. The dog's eyes locked onto his, and he felt a chill run down his spine. There was an intelligence in those eyes, a fierce determination that told him this dog was not going to back down. It was a guardian, and it was ready to defend its territory with everything it had. This was no ordinary dog. This was a trained guardian, a protector of the house and its occupants. The intruder knew he was in serious trouble. He had to think fast, find a way to escape before the dog decided to attack. He took a step back, trying to put some distance between himself and the dog, but the Doberman matched his movements, never taking its eyes off him. This was a guardian, and it was ready to defend its territory. The intruder's mind raced as he tried to come up with a plan. He knew he couldn't outrun the dog, and he didn't want to risk a confrontation. He needed to find a way out, and fast. He glanced around the hallway, looking for an escape route. The front door was too far away, and the windows were all locked. He was trapped, and the dog knew it. The growl grew louder, more insistent, and the intruder knew he had to act quickly. He took a deep breath, steeling himself for what was to come. This was a battle of wits, and he was determined to come out on top.